Hello, this is challenge 16 of the 2022 Holiday Hack Challenge, the final challenge, the last objective to obtain the burning ring of fire. This is a bit tricky. It requires a lot of preparation, but once you understand all the concepts, it's only a few steps that you need to perform. I'll show you how. Alright, so we have the last challenge here, 5 Christmas trees, and that is no joke. Although, once you understand one important cryptographic concept, it gets pretty easy. And this is Merkle trees. The hints, if you collected it, will provide you with the sufficient knowledge on these. I really like the explanation here that is linked. I believe it's the same one, yeah. So the decentralized thoughts. This one goes into really nice details on how a Merkle tree is structured. Basically what you do is you hash the value that you want to use later for validation, and you then create the hash of the hashes of the nodes, and you build this tree out of it. As you can see, each of the nodes will be the hash of the 2 nodes, and this is what's stored as a value. And this is a great structure to do validation. For example, if you want to validate the integrity of a file, you don't need to store the hashes of all the files, but instead what you can do is just store the root of the tree, and to do the validation you would need, well, of course, in this case, if we're talking about integrity, the file, and then all the neighboring nodes, you would calculate the hash of the file. You have the neighboring node hash, so you can calculate this node here, and then with these two you can calculate this element, and then the neighboring hash is provided, so you can calculate the root. And this is how you can do validation. This is all explained here in more details. I just gave you the highlights here. So this is one really important resource, and the other one is this GitHub repo from 30 petabyte. There's also a talk, by the way, so if you want to have like kind of the walkthrough of Merkle trees, but I think this article is extremely well written and very detailed. There's also a short explanation here on how to produce this tree and how to create the values for the root node, and then to do the calculation of the proof for each position. Now, there is also one hint hidden within the deck, so you have to read through to get to this point where it says, of course, the root mustn't be able to be altered, which is by keeping it in the smart contract on the blockchain is what smart developers do. And the story here is that there is a pre-sale for NFTs. Oh, actually, I'm already on the floor where the terminal is. And Luigi actually will brag about the whole idea. So these sporks decided to have some of their friends and fellow sporks purchase these bored spork NFTs, and there's a pre-sale. You have to be on the list in order to be able to purchase one, and then when it goes on sale, the evil plan is that the price will go up. So they have a web page here, which will have some fun pictures here. So these are the NFTs, and if you want to buy a spork, the steps are detailed here. The point is you have to be on the list. Your wallet address has to be on the list. So you would provide the wallet address and the proof. And if you want to just validate if you're on the list, then you leave this one checked. If you want to do the purchase, then you uncheck this. And beforehand, you have to make a purchase for the NFT using this wallet address here. And I think it's Yeah, 100 coins. So pretty straightforward. I do have here a burp suit running, and hopefully the interception options are configured correctly. Yes. So if we were to validate something here, you can see that the root value is provided for us within the application's code, and this is submitted with the post request to do the validation for the pre-sale. The proof and the valid ID is not filled out here because I just submitted an empty form, but that's it. And what we can do next is using the information from does it go into details? Yeah, so we can use the Docker file, or we can just check out this repository to use this Python script that will calculate the Merkle tree for us. So I do have Cal Linux running here. I'm going to switch to my notes here for the video. So what we need is to clone the repository. First things first, and then here we can use Docker, but I found that it's a little bit more convenient for me just to install the requirements using pip install. And what we need to do is take a look inside the Python script. There are two sample values to calculate the most simple Merkle tree possible, which has one root element and one leaf, and that's it. And yeah, you can ignore the error messages here. So when we do the calculation here, and when we just execute it, I'll enter later and show you what the values are, where the root and proof calculation is based on, because it's a very, very simple Merkle tree. Let's do this. So on the list, we only have two values here. And what we're going to do is, because the assumption is the following, because in the request the root value is sent, if we calculate a new Merkle tree with a root and a proof that contains our wallet address, and if the application does the validation based on the values we provide instead of using their stored root value, then it will think that we are on the list and it will allow the purchase. That's the hypothesis. And we're going to test it first with a validation, and if it works, then we're going to make the transaction and then try to finalize the transaction by doing the validation with the validation box being unchecked. It will be clear when I'm going to walk through it. So what I would like to do at this point is I would like to use my wallet address, and we're going to need one additional address here. A tree that only has a root element is not going to be calculated here. You're just going to get an empty field for a proof, and I did try to submit that one. It didn't work. So but it doesn't matter what you put there. So I was super lazy, and I actually used their wallet address for building the tree along with my own. So this allow list here, we're going to comment it out, and then I just need to be careful to use the right addresses, but I think they have it. So this is my wallet address, this is theirs. I'm just going to save this Python script and run it again. I'm going to, copy these so that I can submit it when it comes to the validation part. I'm going to do a little preparation here. Okay. Hopefully everything went well, but if not, we can always return. So what I need to do is I'm going to intercept this request here. And now I need my wallet address. Instead of this root value, I'm going to use mine. For the proof, I'm going to put the proof here, and then validation true is fine. I just want to make sure that I have all the values correctly. You're on the list and good to go. Very nice, very nice. All right, so the next thing that we have to do is close this, go to the KTM terminal, make a purchase. One sec. I'm going to prepare my wallet for this. Right. So we're going to approve a transfer. We're going to use their wallet address. The amount is 100 coins. And then for the key part, once again, I'm going to do this without showing it. I'm going to put the key here, approve the transfer, take a few moments. And we have successfully approved the transfer here. I'm going to close this. And we are going to come back here for the pre-sale. And the instructions say that we just need to uncheck this part here. Let me, oops. Prepare the variables for the last step here. Going to intercept this, go. And now validation is set to false. This is my wallet address. Again, we're going to swap the root. Put a proof here, send it. Yeah, all the I don't want to just let it go because I want to show you that this is the message that you get as a success. And I also would like to show you that we are now the proud owner of this NFT here, this board Spork NFT. Just show this that the objective is completed. You have here the link where you can check the details of your NFT purchase, and if you want to see the picture tied to it, then there you go. This is the beautiful Spork that I just purchased. And we completed the challenge as well. The last piece, of course, is to take a look at the story. This is still not finished because even though we recovered all the rings, we still need to go and get to the North Pole. We're going to pass by Santa just to meet him in the pole. And that's it. So this is pretty much the end of the game. And the story got updated. One player to bring them all and Santa Claus to bind them. And if we talk to Santa here, let me just select Santa station, which doesn't get updated, but it's actually fine. So we saved the Christmas once again this year as well, and you can check the credits rolling. these are all the challenges. I'm going to have the last link at the end of this video for the full playlist if you want to jump back and see others. We'll see if I have a little bit of time to hunt for more Easter eggs. I'm probably not going to do that. I found a couple of these, like the hat and the green ring, so those are definitely Easter eggs. And I had a lot of fun with this year's challenges as well. Some of them were so realistic that it actually felt a bit like work, as I stated in one of the videos, but overall I had a blast. I learned a ton of new things, and hope that others had the same pleasant experience as well. I can't wait to see what the next year brings, but that's the end of all these videos. If you're interested, you can check out the other video playlist. I also have the solutions for previous year's challenge, and eventually I think I will try to go back and do the one before the last one, probably as a preparation for next year's challenge. That's it for now, and yeah, if you like these videos, you know the usual stuff that YouTubers say, make sure that you subscribe. I plan to release more videos. Some of the streams that we created recently should go on the YouTube channel as well after some editing. I still need to do that one. Anyways, that's it. So these are all the challenge walkthroughs, and I might add some additional things if I discover some fun Easter eggs in the reminder, the one day that is left from the deadline. So that's it, and hope to see you around on this channel, and maybe you will check out some other videos that we have.